Hold up. Wait a minute. Bruh. Did you hit the like button? Drop some rabbits in the chat. Let's go.
Hit that like. Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit chat. Hit that like. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. If you want the tea, come see me. Rabbit hole is the place to be for real news, not fake news. Celebrity news, breaking news around the clock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock, I rock, I rock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat, let's chit chat, chit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. True crime is my specialty. Exposed in the industry. Unsolved mysteries. Sticking to reality. Fair use commentary. Talking about cults. Trying to get results. Exploring cults. Exploring. Researching. Debunking. Investigating. Being nosy. Super nosy. Being messy. Being shady. Rabbit hole news. That's me. The chick with ADHD. Unmedicated. But quite educated. Hit that like. Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Chit chat. Hit that like. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop some drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Hit that like. Hit that like. Let's go. Let's go. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. How is everybody doing? My goodness, Lord have mercy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. Happy New Year's still. I told you all I was still going to be saying it till forever and a day. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing? Shout out to everybody. Good morning. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, morning, evening. Well, evening for some. It might be like nighttime. I know, we got people from like all over the world that watch us. So we have some people from like, it might be nighttime over there, morning, afternoon, late afternoon, and whatnot. Shout out to everybody. You've been watching the Clinton's deposition on the Epstein files this morning. I heard that it got kind of crazy, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not even doing a live stream about it. But I was busy. Sorry, y'all. I was busy. So you've been watching it, ready to hang out with Rabbit in her amazing chat. Yay, 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 Maya. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Okay, hold up. Now, let me see who's in the house. Who is in the casa? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hey, Riley's painting. How are you, my love? Shout out to everybody. Good morning. Sorry I'm late, y'all. You guys, I had to go and, I had to do stuff and run and do stuff, and I haven't even taken the first sip of my coffee, so I have to do that. The song makes your day. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you. Nebby just gifted 5 memberships. Nebby, thank you. If you guys have been gifted, put some hearts. Oh, look at this. Right there. Hearts in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Soul. How are you? Tiffany, I see everybody here. Candy Lee has been a member for like 32 months. My goodness. Thank you so much for your consistent support. I really do appreciate it. That is amazing. Thank you so much. 32 months is a long time. We were talking about the membership milestones. Y'all are amazing. Thank you, Candalee. Appreciate it. Mine's y'all just bless the chat, you guys. Look at this. Gifted 5 memberships as well. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Oh my, I love how the hearts are really working. I guess I have to like really kind of, there's a way to do it. And then I talk about it and then they disappear. So yes, mine's y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, Vicky. Shout out to my mods, my wonderful, beautiful mods. Belen said, all good. Gave me time to get some coffee. All right. So, oh my goodness, you guys, we have some stuff to get into. Okay, we definitely gonna talk about Nancy Guthrie. We got to talk about Dr. Phil and Bhad Bhabie. I can't believe people are still talking about that, but we have to talk about it. Something happened, something went down, okay? And then we're gonna talk about the former mayor. We reported on this story too. This former mayor, a cochina, real. Anyways, let me stop. So she's been found guilty. We have to talk about her. Former mayor was doing stuff with, children. I don't know, man. So we're gonna talk about her, and we're gonna talk about Ramona Ayala as well, because there's another lawsuit that came through. So we're gonna talk about that, and of course Nancy Guthrie. So we got a lot to tackle. However, shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Now hold up, let me make sure I got everything set up here. Me Blondie, thank you so much for your 1 month membership, love. Shout out to you, me Blondie. Thank you for supporting the channel. Now we are gonna move on. Make sure everything's working. You know how it is, man. This internet sometimes doesn't want to do it. Let me, before we get started, side note. I thought this was very interesting because I think this is like a thing that liquor stores are doing now. And I saw that there was like this, situation that would go viral. Put a one in the chat if you've ever gotten like a little shooter and then it's paired with like a drink. I've never done that. I've always wanted to, it's been a while since I've had you know, maybe some wine and stuff like that, but like a really good drink. So they're doing this thing in liquor stores. You buy a shooter and then you buy the drink and then they tell you what to mix it with. And then they like you drink it that way, right? Put a one in the chat if you're familiar with this. If you like are kind of like that person, you've seen them. Not a lot of people don't even know what a Jaeger bomb is. Me again, tell the people in the chat what a Jaeger bomb is. Some people don't know a Jägermeister. Some people don't even know what that is. Okay. You can tell that I did some drinking. You said that's dope though. Well, this came into my radar and I thought it was hilarious because I did see that you could even see shorts of people actually buying these shooters. And then sometimes like they come with candy and a drink. And then you're supposed to mix it all and they'll come with the cup, right? Well, apparently there's a liquor store that's going viral for feeling more like a college art project than an actual store. The shop sells quirky drink kits, Mountain Dew liquor with some of the wildest names you'll ever see on the shelf. It's a frat vibe, okay? It's supposed to make you feel, I guess, younger. I don't know. Definitely go crazy on this one. So this one they called, you have a I don't know what this green drink is, but I definitely recognize the vodka and a Mountain Dew, and it's called Mount Dew Me. Okay, so that's the name of that one. They call this one Curious George Goes to AA. So you have Yahoo, like the chocolate milk drink, and this little concoction here. That looks like I would be very sick to my stomach because I don't know how I can't do the milk and the alcohol together. That's just gross. I can't do it. But Curious George Goes to AA. This one is called Double Decker Pecker Wrecker. This is the purple and the Jim Beam and another drink right there, and then a lot of nut. This is Red Bull with some rum chata and another looks like vodka drink in there too. This is y'all forgive me, but I'm reading the names. Okay, this is called White Girl Breakfast. Hold up, y'all. He called it. Don't give. I'm reading it. It says white girl breakfast. Why it has to have these Starbucks? They got the Starbucks as a frappuccino with some Smirnoff and some other drinks in there. I can't. Anyways, I thought those were funny. So yeah, the names are freaking crazy. Okay, they are. I just can't believe they called it that. Like, what? Anyways, moving on. So apparently the names are very interesting. We'll say that much. You said not white girl. Yeah, white girl. What is it called? White girl goes crazy or something like that? Never had it. You said, I'm glad I'm way past that age and can't believe I just said that. I'm just saying, who had the job of naming the drinks? Okay. That's what I want to know. That seems like an interesting job. Like somebody's naming all these drinks and putting them together. Anyways, wanted to start with a little humor. Y'all know we cover true crime and it gets very heavy sometimes. So it's always good to offset and talk a little bit about this. You said any drinks with Starbucks sound like a trip to the bathroom. That's what I'm saying. And then you mix it with alcohol. Ooh. I mean, I know they do like Bailey's and Kahlua, but that's a little bit different to me. I wouldn't pack any more than what's already in there. Like, why are we overdoing it? Anyways, I know a step above baby naming. Absolutely. Okay. Let's talk about Ramona Ayala. All right. So, for those that don't know, Ramona Ayala is like a legend in the Mexican, Latino, well, Mexican, definitely Mexican dynasty of music. This guy has been in the music business since like early 70s. Early 70s. He has a band, and then his son kind of took over. And so it's like a dad and son type of band, but the dad has kind of stepped away, and now it's more so the son. So there's been this lawsuit that was filed by Busby. Now, this lawsuit, why it got so much attention is because it's like 25 million, and it's a Busby lawsuit, right? And we've paid attention a lot to Busby with him going after Jay-Z, Diddy, and everything. So this has kind of been up there as well. So here we have, this was dropped yesterday. I reviewed the Ramona Ayala lawsuit. Was it a week ago? And it's kind of a gross. There's something about toe sucking. It's just a gross lawsuit. Okay, go review it. Go see it. Okay, but the lawsuit is mainly on his son, not so much his dad. And there's pictures out there that I mean, you got people people are nude and whatnot. So there's that. It's a very interesting lawsuit. Anyways, so a lot of this lawsuit is based off of the son who runs the band now, and not so much the dad. Like I don't see like the dad being the main perp, but because the name, they're suing the company, they're suing each of them individually, and so it all kind of it mentions them all of them in there, right? So Tony Busby dropped this 19 hours ago, and he says that today the Busby law firm, led by attorneys Tony Busby and Crystal Del Toro, filed a third lawsuit against the band Ramona Ayala y sus Bravos del Norte. The case is filed on behalf of the professional musicians who allege he was subjected frequently to workplace sexual harassment and multiple sexual assaults. The allegations in the second lawsuit again center around the conduct of Ramon Ayala Jr., the son, okay, who is sued along with Ramon Ayala Sr. and several production and publishing companies. The production alleges and set forth the allegations allege and set forth in the third case include biting various people on multiple occasions, grabbing unsuspecting victims' areas, and it's area like multiple S's. In some cases, causing injuries. Penna and the A of several individuals with his fingers. In one case, causing bleeding and injuries, and in another, smelling the finger and laughing about it. Routinely grabbing the colita of certain individuals in an aggressive and sexual way, frequently walking around the bus and other areas in the nudie nude, rubbing his areas, unsuspecting individuals, holding victims down and doing stuff. And again, with the sucking of the body parts. This is like the second one. The first one said the same thing. Anyways, he also is alleged to be throwing Coca-Cola on individuals, wiping his area, and throwing feces covered wipes on individuals, and frequently being high on Coca-Cola and acting bizarre, aggressive, violent, and threatening manner. According to the lawsuit, many of these actions were caught on video. The lawsuit alleges that the band, record companies, and publishing companies enabled and hid the conduct to avoid hurting the band. The case is filed in Hidalgo County State Court and seeks a trial by jury. Oh my goodness. Everybody's like, not Ramona Ayala. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. In my Spanish voice. It's shit. First liberties, you don't even want to find out. You don't want to find out. You said your dad, my dad's primo used to play guitar in el mariachi with Vicente Fernandez. His primo Jesus Contreras, my dad from Guadalajara, Jalisco, my mother from, okay, cool. Shout out to you. Hey, may he rest in peace. Not that, well, girl, I had to like change up the verbiage because they'd be like, report, report, report. Anyways, if I get a hold of that lawsuit, I'll definitely review it in the other as an upload review. We did a it didn't get a lot of love the first one because again, I have people that follow me from different areas and stuff like that, but some people may not be familiar with Ramon Ayala, but he is a someone very well known, so of course I have to talk about him, especially like childlike. This is like child music for me because it's like this is the kind of music that your parents would listen to and whatnot. Yeah, so there is that. What's wrong with the world today? His dad, I think his dad has to be in his 80s now. Hold up. How old is Ramon Ayala Sr.? Let me see. He's 80 years old. He's 80 years old. So he still plays, but he's kind of because he's a lot older. He's taken a step back and whatnot. So there's that. Okay. Moving on. Moving on. Please, let's move on. Okay, so let's talk about Bhad Bhabie. So episodes. Let's talk about Dr. Phil and Bhad Bhabie. Oh my goodness. Bhad Bhabie episode clips pulled from Dr. Phil's Facebook page after her mom complains. The rapper, then known as the 13-year-old Daniela Bergoli, became a viral sensation during a September 2016 episode of Dr. Phil's talk show. Was it really 2016? It's so crazy. So 2016 was 10 years ago, was when the whole Bhad Bhabie situation happened. The Catch Me Outside, how about that? Catch Me Outside. And then that made her go viral. And then she went from there to like music. And, I think the girl is struggling or dealing with cancer. So, I feel it's a horrible situation, that she's going through, right? But her situation, it's just like, it's a lot between her and her mom, her and the boyfriend or the ex-boyfriend. I don't really know that whole DV. There's a lot of DV going on there. She takes him back. They get back together, and then it's like it's all playing out here, and we're like, "What is going on? Is she okay?" Then it's filmed. Like it's just so crazy. He did send her to a camp. He did. She's only 22 years old. That is so. Why does it seem like she's a lot? Listen, maybe it's because it just seems like she's a lot older. She is doing OnlyFans. She's made a lot of money off of OnlyFans. I don't really listen to her music. I don't know her music. I know she fights with that other girl, with Travis's daughter. And I'm like, why y'all fighting? You guys are like, y'all are from the same, I don't know, cloth. It just seems so weird to me that it's like y'all are just crazy to fight. But if fighting over boys, I don't know. That's what I'm saying, Ghostwriter. Doesn't it seem like she's a lot older? To me, it's like she seems like since 2016 she's lived her whole life. And maybe it's because I don't know, man. At 22, I wasn't doing all that, but I think maybe that's what it is. I have no idea who she is. You don't know who she is? Bad. The Catch Me Outside, how about that? And I would play that clip, but I think I would get in trouble if I do. Yeah, she had a baby. That's right. And I think she was going through a DV situation with her baby daddy. Yeah, like her and the father, it's just like they always go at each other. It's really sad, honestly. But anyways, so apparently Dr. Phil, Dr. Phil basically, I guess, pulled some clips after mom made a complaint on Facebook. And the thing is crazy because it's like, it's really that episode in that show that made her famous, even the mom to a certain degree. She also beats up her mom. I mean, they get into it, they get the hands with each other. It's interesting, even that. So resurfaced clips of Bhad Bhabie, not Bad Bunny, infamous appearance on the Dr. Phil show are being removed after her mom publicly called him out. Him, who? Dr. Phil. Bad Bunny's mother, 58-year-old Barbara Bergoli, took to Instagram to call the TV personality after several clips from the September 2016 episode were shared on his Facebook page, which has more than 10 million followers. At that time, the 13-year-old daughter, then known as Danielle Bergoli, was immortalized with her infamous catchphrase, "Catch me outside." How about that? Did they really remove this? Anyways, we'll go to it in a minute. I'm guessing Phil McGraw's ratings are doing bad that he has to, almost 10 years later, still re-release clips of my daughter's episode. Barbara said in a video shared on Monday, March 3rd, maybe he should talk about his own life and what happened to his first wife. What happened to his first wife? Say more, Miss Barbara. Say more. What happened to the first wife? I don't know. Anyways, so maybe he should talk more about his own life and what happens to his first wife. You know, people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. A spokesperson for Dr. Phil told TMZ a third party controls the Facebook page and no one currently, on Dr. Phil's staff condones the post. Sources familiar with the situation told the outlet that 4 clips from Bhad Bhabie's episodes had been posted within the past week have since been removed. Oh, I think we could play it here, but hopefully we don't get any kind of strike. Sources connected to Dr. Phil also pointed out that Barbara was the one who originally wrote to the show seeking help. She did do that. She did write. Yeah, she did write to the show. But I mean, maybe she changed her mind. I don't know. Bhad, by the way, did Dr. Phil help her? I think he put her in a ranch. You determine if any of that was successful for her. Let me know. So Bhad Bhabie, 22, was diagnosed with a form of blood cancer in late 2024. This is really sad. She recently told fans bad news from her doctor yesterday. God has the last say, not my cancer. She's like, so young.
Everything has to be Barbara Ann's way or no way. She'll go after me. God, bitch. Like if I tell her.
Calling her daughter a bitch. Hold up. This is what made for TV. This is them. Now we got to get to this part right here.
Cars. I steal her credit card. I ain't gonna lie. There's no reason to lie. Everybody know already. Like.
What do you say to yourself that gives you the right to take somebody else's car?
Oh my God.
I'm talking to be sliding. You mean? That's amazing.
So that's the success. I was going to see if I can go to the Catch Me Outside, but I don't know if I have the. I don't think I have the time.
To steal somebody's car that disagrees with that and decides that they're going to drop a hammer on you and prosecute you to the full extent of the law.
Then I do my time in jail. Jail ain't nothing.
Yeah, he made matters worse, I would say. Definitely. So, yeah. He said he married his high school sweetheart. Apparently, he was controlling, told her how to look, cheated on her, and they divorced 3 years later after marrying. Really? That was the first wife? That was the first wife? Wow. I had no idea. No idea. So, I mean, okay. To me, Dr. Phil is like, who is Dr. Phil at this point? You know, he's kind of like, people don't take him serious. People don't, they've exposed him. He's literally out there with ICE doing detaining people with ICE and then filming that shit like it's like a fucking reality TV show. And again, this is a man who purported himself to be somebody that wanted to help families stay together. And yeah, it's just like, you're a fraud. He is that person that is like the equivalent of just writing a train, right? Writing something to become famous and whatnot. And then, it turns out that he's really somebody else. It's just, anyways, I can't stand him. Let me see if we can find the actual clip of, I think we have it. Okay. Barbara calling, let's see. Ooh, okay, Barbara. Tell it, Barbara.
Doing bad that he has to, almost 10 years later, still re-release clips of my daughter's episode. Maybe he should talk about his own life and what happened with his first wife. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. I'm guessing Phil.
Ooh, she clocked him right there.
Let me say this. Social media has become an app where people think they could come on here and say the most vilest things and think it's funny because they're hiding behind a screen that they wouldn't say it to your goddamn face. But to turn around and say someone who has cancer, that's their karma, that's a low form. That's the lowest form of anything. And God don't like no friggin' ugly, okay? Babies don't ask to get cancer. Little children don't ask to get cancer. The elderly don't ask to get, nobody asks to get cancer, okay? As someone who's had it twice, it's no friggin' joke. Unfortunately, mine was caused by stress from individuals that I wish I never met in my life, but unfortunately I did. So don't come on here with your balls so mighty saying, oh yeah, that's your karma, because it just might be yours. Don't ever say something about someone unless you've experienced it. Let me tell you something. Play with me every day, but don't come after my kid. Don't come after my family. Because all those who have something to say usually have a lot of stones in their closet. Oh no, let me take that back. Have a lot of skeletons in their closet, and they're the ones that live in those glass houses. Again, keep your own freaking comments to yourself. That's the best thing to do. Everyone thinks, oh yeah, well it's social media. We can say what I want. Go ahead. Go ahead. Say what you want. But then someone might come out and say something about you or your family, you know, that they can find on social media. And then you're going to cry. Watch your words. Let me say that.
Ooh, that's horrible. You know, honestly, that is just horrible. Why somebody wishing somebody cancer? That's your car. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Like, why? Okay, hold up. Now, she posted this about Dr. Phil. Barbara Bergoli says, imagine this bald-headed looks down on my daughter, yet his son married a not so wholesome girl. Maybe in 2 years, his granddaughter, Avery, will either pose in and play like mommy Erica in two. Ooh, shit. And maybe they'll make some kind of OF page. One never knows. I wonder how many times he views Playboy spreads from December 1998. So this one, it's kind of cut off, but who's he married to? Jay McGrath is married to Erica. Erica is a triplet, so I guess she's like a Playboy person, a Playboy model. Damn. Yeah, all right then. So she is Bhad Babe. I want to say Bad Bunny. It's Bhad Bhabie's mom. Bhad Bhabie's mom is upset with Dr. Phil because they're re-airing on the Facebook the "Catch Me Outside." How about that clip? Okay, the one that made her famous, and I think it's very strategic too that they posted that right when she's making the news about her cancer. And having to like deal with the cancer situation. Yeah, it's very interesting that she's doing like that. Sounds very strategic in the Facebook page part. So right now, Bhad Bhabie is trending because of the cancer situation. So what does the Dr. Phil show on Facebook do? They repost clips from 2016 of when she was 13 years old and she was telling people, "Catch me outside." Yeah, I don't like that either. I don't like that. Okay. All right. Ooh, let's talk about a situationship, okay? So Louisiana mayor convicted of Ring 16-year-old boy at her home while still in office. I remember talking about Misty Roberts here, and I remember when this news broke, it actually broke on Facebook. And we actually talked about this news here because we were like, a mayor? Like, what? What's going on? So Misty Roberts, 43, faces sentences of up to 10 and 7 years in prison after July 2024 essay at a pool party. Okay. So she is the former mayor of Louisiana City, has been convicted of Ring a 16-year-old during a pool party at her house while she was still in office. Yep, she did. So she's 43, faces a sentence up to 10 and 7 years in prison. Why doesn't it say up to 7 to 10 years? Anyways, in prison after a jury in DeRidder on Tuesday found her guilty of 2 felonies: carnal knowledge of juvenile, or statutory R, as well as indecent behavior with a minor. I didn't know that that's a charge. Carnal knowledge of a juvenile? Never heard of. I've never heard of a carnal knowledge of a juvenile. Yeah. You said, what is wrong with these women and the little boys? Right. Well, it just tells you perpetrators come in different forms, right? Years ago, this would have been cheerleaded. You know, you'd have those situations where like teachers step out of the role and marry their students. Mary Kay Letourneau was one of them, and I've talked about Mary Kay Letourneau before here, and we talked about how that messed up Billy Falau, and his family. I mean, that situation is crazy work. She got pregnant by Billy Falau. Billy Falau was somebody that was in her she taught kindergarten at some point, and she taught him. And then there were some grades in between that they didn't see each other, but then they saw each other later on. I think he was in middle school by then, and then she kind of, you know, did her thing to this poor child. And then at some point, I think she got pregnant. She was out on probation or something, and then violated while she got pregnant and violated. It was just horrible. They have two children, and then at the end of the day, they actually got married. And then before Mary Kay Letourneau's death, giving you guys a quick summary, they actually got divorced. They were actually separated and divorced before Mary Kay died. They had two daughters, and this is kind of like this all happened. Was it Seattle? Yeah, I think it was Seattle because I knew some people in that area. So, anyways, yeah, I mean, all of this kind of played out in public. It's a horrible situation, and even now, Billy Falau has talked about it, and he says that it messed him up. It messed him up. Um, yeah, and of course, all of this was documented on national, international TV and whatnot. Okay, so anyways, so the former mayor of Louisiana has been convicted. All right, and carnal knowledge of a juvenile, or statutory R, as well as indecent behavior with a minor. Jurors deliberated less than an hour at the conclusion of a 7-day trial, during which they heard testimony about how she essayed an underage boy while both had been drinking alcohol heavily during a July 2024 pool party at her home, well into her second term as D. Ritter's top elected official. On the final day of the trial, the victim testified that despite what is it? Is that a word? Despite so much vomit, Roberts flirted with him by the pool and began kissing him. The local news outlet PKLC recounted the boy, who was at the time was too young to be able to legally consent to S with Roberts. Well, not only that, but to drinking. Testified that she eventually took him upstairs and R'd him. Roberts' two children and nephew testified that they saw her and the victim together, though they didn't witness the R-ing. The victim described hearing Roberts argue with her son and yell, "Go fight your friend. He's the one who did it." Oh my. He's the one that did it. A driver for the delivery service, DoorDash, testified that he brought the emergency contraceptive Plan B to Robert's home afterwards. What? She DoorDash Plan B? I didn't even know this was not I didn't know this. A driver for the delivery service DoorDash testified that he brought the emergency contraceptive Plan B to Robert's home afterwards. Testimony established that Roberts also instructed her children and nephew to lie about what they saw, even texting one of them, "Lie till you die." Robert's ex-husband, Duncan Clayton, testified that she confessed directly to him that she had committed the crime and had been caught by their children. A criminal complaint that was later filed as part of the case and reported by the Daily Mail purportedly cited text messages from Robert to Clayton that speak, "I effed up and I respect you enough to tell you." What? I'm sorry, this bitch is insane. And I don't like saying that. I don't like saying that about I don't like calling, women bitches. I don't. But this bitch is insane. It's just, I'm sorry. It's up. Like, what? Sorry. It's the first thing that, like, you're insane. You're insane. And then you're telling your children and nephew, lie till you die? This woman is insane. All right, let me stop. I just like what? I'm sorry. Like there's some people that it's like there's no way to put it. There's no nice way to put it. There's no clinical term for it. You're just this bitch is insane. That's it. That's it. All right. I apologize. My potty mouth, but I can't think of anything else. Okay. All right. I mean, I didn't know you could DoorDash. I guess you can. You know, now you have a witness who saw you DoorDash and is testifying against you. Saw you DoorDash Plan B. I think I've heard it all. So you're right. Deviant behavior is insane. I don't think it's a mental. I think it's a mental illness. Excuse me, a mental disease. I think it's their behavior because we can't wrap our heads around it. That's right, Kim. That's right. Right, Elry. Elry's like, we're in hell. Oh my God, Elry, I missed 2 of your super chats. Shout out to you. 199. Thank you so much for this. I sent you a Discord DM. Okay, I'll check it out. Thank you, Elry. Oh, I'm so sorry, Elry, for the 199. I have an incurable cancer. F anyone who says that. I'm so sorry, Elry. I'm so sorry. I think you're referencing the whole Dr. Phil statement and, Barbara and people saying that someone's karma is cancer. That's horrible. But shout out to you, Elry. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Okay. Is that an appropriate term? All right, cool. As long as you guys agree. I want to get the criminal complaint. I've never seen this. I mean, I heard, like I said, we reported on this case. I just never seen the criminal complaint. Anyways, so apparently, purportedly cited text messages from Roberts to Clayton that reads, "I effed up and I respect you enough to tell you." KPLC reported that another text from Roberts to Clayton mentioned during the trial, "I can't keep hurting others, friends, and families. Lord knows I've done enough." Well, damn. Thank you. I mean, like, yeah. So she's acknowledging that she's hurt people. Her sentence is tentatively scheduled for the 17th of April. Roberts resigned as DeRidder's mayor one day after authorities began investigating the complaint that she had R'd a minor. I remember talking about this. Her resignation letter omitted any mentions of that investigation. She later made a $75,000 bail to await her trial from out of custody. In October, in an unrelated case, her 40-year-old brother, Brandon Lee Roberts, pled guilty to R-ing 2 people, an underage girl and a young woman. He subsequently received 42 years prison sentence. Lord have mercy, it runs in the family. What the hell? I'm sorry, like, she did it. Now, I know it's unrelated, but her brother is also an artist of minor children. Misty Roberts in 2018 made history by becoming the first woman ever elected as a mayor of DeRidder. Man, oh my God. She won a second 4-year term in 2022. She had spoken publicly in May of 2024 to Louisiana news outlet Best of SWLA after enduring a few rough years, in part because of her 2 hurricanes that affected her community, a divorce, and the death of someone close to her. "I've been able to just be mayor," Roberts was quoted as saying. Roberts also told the outlet that she aspired to run for a 3rd term in a mayoral primary election to be held in May. Well, good luck with that one. DeRidder is home to about 10,000 people. That's why it was a small town. People just east to Louisiana border with Texas. Yep. After Roberts' resignation, the city elected its first Black mayor, Michael D. Harris. Well, shout out to him. Look, I need to get the criminal complaint on this one. Oh my God. Let's see something. That is, so her brother too? Yo, I think I've heard it all. They need to do a study in the brain. Something needs to happen. Absolutely. I wonder if women get prison justice. I mean, literally. The brother and the sister, unrelated. Oh my God. Dios mío. That's crazy work, right? But I don't respect you enough to not effed up to it. Right. That's why I was like, what are you doing, lady? Anyways, let me stop. Let me stop because it's like that. It's like I need to take a shower after that. Ugh. Okay. Let's talk about Nancy Guthrie. Now, hold up. Let me shout out some people here. Oh my God, is this Wim? Wim, 39-month member. Keep up the good work. Well, shout out to you, Wim. Now, it's not Wim. Where's your last? Well, you don't put your last name in there. I think you said you took it because people couldn't pronounce it. I couldn't pronounce it, that's for sure. Shout out to Wim. OG, approaching OG status, 39 months. My beautiful, wonderful Wim. I hope you and Dickie are doing okay. Shout out to you. Keep up the good work. Well, shout out to you, Wim. Sweet Potato, thank you so much for your 5-month membership. Yes. Thank you, Sweet Potato. The world is getting crazier by the minute. I would probably second that. All right, so let's move on to Nancy Guthrie because we have so much to review about that situation. So people are wilding out still out there, and there's a couple of clips that I wanted to show you. So we talked a little bit about the Luke Daly interview with Mary. Okay, that apparently, it's gotten a lot of attention, right? People are speculating different things and whatnot. But there's also some other stuff that I'm just like, I don't understand this. So let me show you what happened while was this yesterday? It had to be yesterday. Well, it was 12 hours ago. People are still like, I don't know. Again, you kind of have to decipher the attention seeking part because people do the most. Okay. Let me see if I can speed this up. I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday. Let's go to 1.25.
Right. Who are you looking for?
Yeah. Let's interview you. How you doing, man?
But James.
My name's Alex. Nice
James, what's going on?
How you doing,
James. I know everybody in this town. I know exactly where she's at.
We're looking.
People are coming up and stopping by, right? This guy, I don't know if he was drunk or what, but daytime, okay? Listen.
I definitely know where she's at.
We're the searchers.
Okay, yeah.
Let me know. We're not law enforcement. We're searchers.
Yeah.
Let us know.
We're like you.
I
We
know
want to
exactly.
tell us.
Where's she at, James?
Walter Nash.
I'm an attorney. Who?
An attorney has her?
An attorney drug dealer.
Attorney drug dealer has her?
I don't know if he does or not, but he knows where fucking cartel money is at.
What's his name?
Walter Nash.
Walter Nash. Who is he?
Dealer.
Drug dealer.
Piece of shit fucking drug dealer.
Whoa.
Watch your language. This is
No.
Oh,
He
okay,
could speak.
sorry.
This is raw. So how do you know that he is involved with Nancy?
I don't know if he is or not, but he knows every cartel fucking person in this fucking place, man. You know what I'm saying?
How do we
I
reach
believe
him?
you. I believe you. If you're local.
Did you turn that information into authorities?
You from Tucson? Yeah. I live here too, but I just moved here like 6 months ago. I love it.
I swear to God, that's exactly. If someone knows who that is, and that's what I was saying. Give me this Brian Guthrie. Give me Brian Guthrie.
You live locally around here?
Yeah, Orville.
Who is Brian Guthrie?
Oro Valley?
Did you give this information to law enforcement?
They already know it. I mean,
They know it, but did you give the
Sometimes
look,
information?
I'll give you. I'll tell you what. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you need to. Look. I'm looking for. I'm trying to find this chick. Yeah. You know what I mean?
This Nancy?
Chicken. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Is he trying to find a chick or a chicken? Oh my God, you can't. Lord have mercy, appeasing these people. Okay.
I mean,
Duh.
chicken, you know what I'm saying?
Chicken?
Chica.
Oh, like you're Spanish, the chica, the female.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're with you. That's what we're doing. That's what we want trying to do. We're trying to trying to wash us. We're trying to covert the
100%.
homeless. We don't know where she's at. We don't know where to look.
He knows where she's at
How would he know?
because he's a fucking cartel drug dealer.
I mean, it's very believable. I don't know.
Or where do you think he's at? How do you think this guy makes money?
I don't know. Tell me.
He makes money from fucking drug dealers.
Yeah.
Who is Walter Nash?
Walter Nash is a piece of fucking shit.
Where does he work? What kind of
He
attorney?
works right downtown.
Damn, now you got the internet. The internet's looking for somebody named Walter Nash. We got people searching for Walter. Everybody's like, what is he talking about?
Attorney?
Like a
Hell no, he
prosecutor?
ain't no public defender,
A
man.
prosecutor or just a defense
No,
attorney?
dude, he corrupts fucking drug dealers, man. You know what I'm saying? He don't work for the government. He fucking takes money from people.
So how about this, James? So look, if he did it, what was his motive to get? What's his motive? Like, if you know he's a piece of shit.
Wait. Cheeks said that he had a white girl breakfast. Oh my God, he did have a white girl breakfast. Oh my. Oh my God, Cheeks, can you time yourself out, please? Can y'all, somebody got to time yourself out, please. I was not expecting that one. That came in like the perfect time.
He's a drug dealer. What would be his motive to take money?
Because one of them owed him money.
Oh, my face hurts.
What, a family member or something? Maybe?
Someone owed him money. Trust me.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is my town. You know what I mean? I mean, who can figure it out? You know, like, you got my dad over there, all right? You know what I'm saying? We're trying to
That's
figure.
awesome.
We're trying to fix this.
That's what we're doing too. I'm local. We're just trying to find her.
You can say that too, man. I hate that piece of shit.
What happened?
What did he do to you? Like, how do you know him?
Yeah. What did
His hair's like on the other side. Poor guy.
he do to you, man?
Like, what's going on?
He hates
You know
everybody,
what I
y'all.
don't like about him?
Huh.
Because he poisons people.
Oh my
with
God.
Drugs.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you should go to the police with this information.
Oh no,
If they don't know. You said they know?
Don't.
He thinks they know. I think you should probably share that.
I think we're just coming out here.
Bye, minds, y'all. Have a good day.
I brought my dad out of here. Or like I was trying to find the reporter that would.
Oh, you're talking about Brian?
No, fuck that guy, man. He's a fucking cartel, fucking drug dealer, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Right.
Brian Hinton is a cartel drug dealer. Jesus.
You know, I mean that's where if anybody knows, that's who knows.
Do you know anybody who has any?
Who are you here with? Are you driving?
Dad. No.
Your dad's driving?
You said his comb over. He's like, his comb over isn't cooperating. Oh my God. I know, Kim. You know, they do say, there's a saying in Mexico. They say that there's only two people that'll tell you the truth in life: the drunks and the little kids. So he might be onto something. I don't know, man. That is hilarious. Oh my God. All right, let's get into Brian Hinton. I've watched a little bit of it, but not so much. I wanted to do a reaction with you guys. Brian Hinton better be careful, because this guy's over here saying that he works for the cartel. That's not good. That's not good. Let's get into this.
And again, I'm always kind of interested when he talks to NBC, just because obviously NBC, that's where Savannah Guthrie works. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic there, I think. I tried to get an interview with him recently and I haven't really gotten anywhere. But in the interview with NBC, he did say a couple of things that I thought were interesting. He said that I think the investigators are definitely getting closer to finding a Nancy Guthrie suspect. He's kind of been saying that all along. Whether that means they're getting closer, like closer, or, you know, sort of more hypothetical closer, I don't know. But I've told you guys this before. I don't think it's a cold case. I think it's going to be solved. Do I think it's going to be solved in the next couple of days? Not necessarily, but all it really takes is one tip. I mean, I saw that.
Well, is Brian Hinton still going to be there when it's solved? That's what I want to know, because it seems like people are now kind of like, I mean, what do you guys think? You think the media is going to leave? Is it going to be done? I kind of have to wonder about this. The Basement Jesus says, dude knows all about the drugs. I know, right? He's over there knowing about all the drugs in that area. Lord have mercy. Oh my God. He ends with okay, I'm going to watch the Profiler, Joey, because I heard that the Profiler was really good too. But let's keep going.
That with Koberger. It just, you know, one call and boom, you know, everything sort of changes. So he said, I think the investigators are definitely getting closer. He says, remember there was this video that from 2.5 miles away where the car went by and the timing matched out really perfectly to someone who may have left Nancy Guthrie's and been trying to avoid major highways and intersections. We know that the Pima County Sheriff's Office now has that video. And what the sheriff said about it is that they are looking into it. So it's part of the investigation. So he hasn't just completely thrown it out as nothing. But this is the part that really struck me. He said they are looking at, quote, hundreds of thousands of other vehicles, which I mean, it's a lot, hundreds of thousands of other vehicles, which may line up. You may remember the FBI said a couple of days ago that agents are reviewing thousands of hours of video. And when they said that, I immediately thought this can't be like Ring camera video because there's just not that much in the neighborhood and there wouldn't be thousands of hours. So they likely now have traffic cameras that they're going through and looking at every single vehicle. That's sort of how I'm piecing this together based on the FBI saying that their agents are reviewing thousands of hours of video and now the sheriff making this comment that they are looking at hundreds of thousands of cars. But that was just kind of,
man, how do we go from like, 40 mugshots or 40, not 40 mugshots, but people, going to gun stores to now, I just feel like they don't really have an idea on this guy. I mean, for people to say that this guy's an amateur and yet here we are, what day is it? I think we're well over day 30 now. I don't know. Said Rabbit he wants to talk to him about what he knows, not that he's a cartel dealer. Gotcha. Okay. I misunderstood him, but he was kind of funny. Okay. Let's keep going.
may not have been purchased at Walmart, could have been purchased secondhand. Remember when he said that the backpack came from Walmart? I guess now they may have at this point gone through all of the sales records, which we know they were doing behind the scenes, the FBI. And now he's saying it may have been purchased secondhand. So it may not have been purchased directly by the suspect from Walmart.
Where, I know my mod, Vicky's not here, but I'm pretty sure we even said that too. Vicky said it. Not Vicky. Vic said it. Vic said, and I remember looking at her comments and said, yeah, this, just because you could buy it at Walmart, he could have gotten it at a secondhand shop. Now we're saying this. Interesting.
Like maybe someone else purchased it and then gave it to the suspect, or the suspect bought it like from someone, selling it secondhand. So I picked up on that. I thought that was interesting. And that means to me that they have probably finished going through all of the sales records in this area of Walmart to people who bought that backpack. And then he said, we have information on this case that we think is going to lead us to solving this case, but it takes time, which is a positive statement. I think he may be referring to DNA there. I've reported to you guys the DNA samples are not good, but that doesn't mean that with time they can't sort that out. And it could end up being DNA that cracks this case, especially the genetic genealogy. But again, that's going to take time, especially if the samples are not good samples. So that's kind of what I think he was meaning by that last statement. We have information on this case that we think is going to lead us to solving this case, but it takes time. But we'll see. So that's the latest from the sheriff. He spoke out here at the sheriff's office. In terms of what's been happening at Nancy Guthrie's house, there were some people who showed up today. I don't think they were law enforcement, but I don't know who they were. They were by the front door of the house. They were by the side of the house. They were clearly, sort of there on a mission, knew what they were doing. Some people were thinking maybe they were locksmiths, which is a possibility, or just maybe people sent there by the family. I don't know. The family, other people were there installing security cameras the other day. There was people there installing an alarm system. I don't know what these folks were up to, but they were at the house today, which was interesting. At the same time, there were some people out in front of the house. I think they may have been, private citizens. I also heard they may have been podcasters that were searching with a metal detector, said that they were searching for jewelry out front. But that was really the latest happening at the house. Also, I've just had a conversation, which I'm going to play for you, with Jim Clemente, who is a retired FBI profiler. And it's always so interesting for me when I talk to these profilers, because this is what they do. With limited information, they come up with the profile of who they believe is a suspect in a case. Ooh. And this is one of the more interesting conversations I've had since this whole thing started, because he really zeroed in on what the abductor may want out of this, what he believes the abductor wants, which isn't something that I had really put a ton of thought into, which he's going to explain his theory on that, and also why he thinks those ransom notes in the beginning may be bogus. So this is my conversation with Jim. All right, so I'm joined now by Jim Clemente, former retired FBI profiler, and also hosted the podcast Best Case, Worst Case. I almost said former FBI profiler, but whenever I say that, people think that they got fired or something. So I'm clear about saying retired. Maureen got mad at me about that once.
Yeah, I did retire, and I'm still a profiler. So I'm continuing to do that work. I'm also an expert witness in legal cases. So I definitely continue to do behavioral analysis in criminal and related cases.
So Jim, I'm here in Arizona. I've been here for like a month, just trying to dive into this case any way that I can. And I wish I had more information a month in, but it's still very mysterious. There's still a lot we don't know. There's still a lot of questions.
You said that he looks upset at what type of person he thinks did this. Like, and what do you mean on Sunflower? Say more. Like he's upset. You said he's the slowest guy. Well, I did put it at 1.25 speed, y'all. So he might be a little bit faster than regular.
Questions about motive. Based on everything you know, have you been able to come up with a profile at all for who did this to Nancy?
Yeah. As I said earlier, when we've talked before, the fact that someone would take the risk of going into an occupied dwelling, spending 41 minutes or so there, and then taking the victim with them, that's a huge risk. All three of those things elevate the offender's risk tremendously. See, risk level is in opposition between the victim and the offender. So when the victim is in their lowest risk area, which is in the privacy and security of their own home, to get to them, the offender has to take the highest level of risk. So we know this person was very motivated. They'd have to be so motivated in order to overcome that great risk that they took. Now, up until the door cam video was released, it seemed like this person was a fairly sophisticated, criminally and forensically experienced kind of offender. But when we actually saw his behavior, we could see that he wasn't at all ready for that door camera, that he walked out of the vestibule area and grabbed some brush to try to cover it.
Yeah.
And in the process, he revealed that I believe he has a tattoo on the underside of his right wrist.
Real quick. Okay. And he knows that those are not the same days. So maybe that was the first time that he broke in. And then he's like, well, the first time he realized there's a camera, and then the other time was a different day.
Those are all really big mistakes for somebody who took the time to wear at least one mask, maybe two, at least one pair of gloves, maybe two, a full bodysuit over his other clothing. He thought he was actually protecting himself forensically, but what he didn't do is actually cover up his mouth. So he's breathing out DNA for 41 minutes in that house. He also, his eyes and his eyebrows and his eyelashes and some of his mustache hair was all exposed. That could have fallen out and been left at the crime scene. So he made a lot of mistakes that really lower his criminal and forensic sophistication. So what does that tell us? Well, we know he's a male from the images. And generally, the way he moved, he didn't seem like he was in his 50s or 60s, but he was probably in his 30s or 40s. And he definitely, because he wasn't a professional, he definitely exhibited pre- and post-offense behavior that people around him can see. So profiling doesn't just sort of predict who the person is, but we also talk about their behavior and what they'll do. So before this event, he was experiencing some level of stress because he was planning this. Clearly, the way he dressed and the fact that he got away with it to date tells me that he did put in some level of planning. Of course, he wore a backpack with bright reflective straps, bands on the strap, which, and he was wearing lighter clothing, which you don't wear to a night operation. I mean, you want to be as unseen as possible, and he was glaringly there. He had a little flashlight in his mouth at some point, but if he had had a searchlight, a very strong flashlight, he could have overwhelmed that camera and it would not have picked up his image. He thought he destroyed the camera and the images it took. In fact, he didn't. So those mistakes, again, lower my assessment of his forensic and criminal sophistication. But because he's not so sophisticated, he was probably going through a lot of stress beforehand, and he may have even spoken to people about it. He may have vented to people about how things are going wrong, or there's a lot of problems, but things are about to happen in my favor. Things are about to get good. I'm about to, all my problems are going to be solved. I'm going to be out of debt, whatever it is. I believe he spoke to people around him about this stuff. And then after the event, and when Savannah Guthrie announced that she was going to pay the ransom, he may have even slipped again and spoken about, things are going to get better. But then when his images were released, I think that was, 10 days after the event, his stress level went through the roof. And he may have left town. He may have hidden his car in a garage, or had worked on it, or had it painted. He may be obsessively cleaning it. But these behaviors are out of the norm, and people around him will notice the change in these behaviors. One thing that my friend Jim Fitz and Ray Carr added to that behavior, and I think it really makes sense when they profiled him, was that this guy probably has had a history of being fixated on celebrities or quasi-celebrities in the past, probably female celebrities, and this could be one of the main motivating factors in this case.
Wait a minute. So, question. Is he saying just one guy? He's not talking about a group, right? He's talking about one person. Is that correct? Are y'all hearing that? Because I didn't feel like he thought that this was like a group of people. He's literally just profiling the one guy. Is he also saying that the same guy, different days, it's the same person those different days of the pictures? Am I hearing this correctly? Let me know what you guys think. You said most definitely getaway driver, because I thought he only heard one guy, but I find it very hard that it's just the one guy. So this one guy knocked Nancy Guthrie out, carries her out, I'm thinking, and then puts her in the car and then leaves that way. I'm wondering about this. Okay. Wim, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all put some hearts in the chat if you've been gifted by Wim. You said there's only footage of one guy. That's why they keep saying that. So is it possible that it's different? Because it's different days, right? Ooh, okay. Thank you, Wim. I appreciate it. And Tara, shout out to you, member for 5 months. Thank you. I think he's saying that he beats only one guy. So if this is let's just say it's a group, would this whole group be obsessed with quasi celebrities? I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know. I'm not a profiler, so I'm kind of wondering about this. And Tara, thank you again. I mean, he could be absolutely right. There's at least 3 people from experience, unfortunately, right? Okay, let's keep going.
But I will say this. If that isn't it, if it isn't sort of somebody who's fixated on her because she's the mother of a celebrity and in her own right has been on TV several times with her daughter, if it's not that, then I believe it's somebody who had some tangential connection to the family or to Nancy Guthrie herself. And in that connection, and it could have been a guy working on the pool, the yard, cutting the grass, repairing the roof, doing some repairs to appliances in the house or the AC or the heat, and even possibly deliveries or driving an Uber. There's some connection in which innocently she revealed that, one, she lived alone and that she would be home and vulnerable on this particular night. And it's a shame because her trust in any of these people could have led to her being targeted by this particular offender.
If it was a Savannah-obsessed person, would they have tried to reach out to Savannah by now or wanted something from Savannah?
Well, they did get something they wanted from Savannah. They got Savannah to talk to them directly. And another thing they got was an emotional reaction by her. And unfortunately, when you have, for example, erotomatic stalkers, they feel that they have this relationship with their victims, and they feel sometimes that, well, if I can't have you, nobody can have you, and they can get violent. And it could be that had some motivation in this case.
So even getting the emotional responses from Savannah that we've seen could have been enough. It's not like they would have wanted more.
Oh, they may have wanted more, but it is a huge amount to be addressed directly by the person that you've been fixated on. Yeah, that's a big thing.
Wow. So I've heard a lot of people think that that's what it is. I've also heard like burglary gone wrong, and then Nancy, hopefully this isn't true, but dies, and you got to get rid of the body or you're going to be.
No, that's not true at all. You don't got to get rid of the body. You got to leave the body there and you got to get away from the body. If that's what happened, that person, unless they had a known connection to her or that location or both, that person would have left her there and gone as fast as they possibly can, get as far away as possible. You don't bring the body with you. That is the best evidence in the case.
But I think I hear what you guys are saying, but I think like you said, he's taking a lot of liberties with the little information that we have. I know it's part of the job. Yeah, I think that's what. So my understanding, right? Like profilers, I could be wrong, but I feel like they're allowed. They take those liberties and they're kind of there to give you guys like give everybody like that kind of a view of what kind of a personality would have done this kind of crime, right? And so they permit themselves to go outside of what maybe some folks have tunnel vision for at this point. I think it's kind of something that you have to weigh in, right? Like you have to understand that, he's taking the liberty to go above and beyond and even insert some things that were like, what? That doesn't make sense. Like he's definitely stretching it a bit to a certain degree. But I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't know. You said he's an actual retired FBI. He's highly respected and well known. Like I said, not a fan though. No, like, but I do wonder when FBI are using these profilers, right? How and what are they taking? What elements or what is it? I guess that would be my question. Is like, how are you putting these things together? Because we're not just talking about facial features here, right? We're talking about certain parts and behaviors and actions that these folks do. Okay. There's a behavioral science behind a profiler, somebody that does this for a living. That's how I see it. You're not guessing. You're literally taking it upon themselves based on cluster personalities of this. This is what you get here. This is how this person would do. This guy would have probably had a hard time having friends in high school, like that kind of stuff. Then I'm like, okay, yeah. Profiling is a behavior. There's a difference. I know some of you guys said that it's like psychic reading. No. And even that, I mean, shout out to the psychic readers. But to me, it's like when they hire you as a profiler, it's a behavioral science that's studied through analysis and behavior personalities. And some of this is based on like psychological research and stuff like that. So almost kind of like, I hate to put the show out there, Criminal Minds, right? If you look at the show Criminal Minds, which I don't think it's there anymore, but they have their behavioral unit. And supposedly the plot is that this behavioral unit has these very elite, they have drama within themselves, right? Because that's part of the drama of Hollywood. But they have very specific type of traits, and they use this to build off of a profile, right? My thing is that it almost, when he speaks of this, almost makes it sound like it's one person for a very dedicated reason, right? You said, as a psychic, I can tell you I'm not psychic, LOL. Shout out to you. That's why I'm wondering, like, he's very assertive about certain things. I just don't know if it fits to be assertive at this point. Does that make sense? And Wim, again, thank you for gifting. Y'all put some hearts in the chat. Wim gifted. There you go. Put some hearts in the chat if you've been gifted. Yeah, no disrespect that he's giving me. I want to start a YouTube channel. everybody. No matter what, I'll be mind blowing if we ever find out, right? Yeah. People are saying, because it's been written, there's like a typo or something that Nancy was found in June. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was kind of crazy work. I saw that leaked. People were sending me this stuff. I'm like, I think it's a typo, but okay.
And to keep that with you, to take it somewhere else, to then spend more time hiding it. You're putting their DNA in your vehicle. You're putting their DNA all over you. It increases the risk that this offender took exponentially. The only reason why you would there are two reasons why you want to remove the body. One, that's what you came to do. You came to kidnap this person. You're going to find them and you're going to take them away. Two, people know that you have a connection to her. You want to delay discovery of her because there's evidence of you on her. And so that is why you take the body away. You make that extra effort. You take that extra risk because there is a known connection.
So if it was just a random burglary, you think they would have just left the body? Why, if she died, why would they take the body?
Absolutely, no question. I mean, it would be extremely foolish for them to continue to make risky moves. To what end? I mean, if she died and there's evidence that there was a death in the house, what does taking the body away do for you? She's going to get discovered, or she's going to be discovered missing. Either one, the alarms go off and they're looking for you. If you got in and out, and instead of spending 41 minutes there, you spent 3 minutes there and took off, you have 38 more minutes to be 38 more miles away, right? why would you take her with you? You're right there with the evidence against you.
I'm just thinking this through. If it is like a Savannah stalker, because I've always thought there was more than one person involved, but maybe that would mean it is just one person, and maybe that would explain why we haven't had some other accomplice trying to claim this $1 million reward. I mean, could it just be one person involved?
Absolutely. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a Savannah stalker. It could be a Nancy stalker, because again, even though her fame is not anywhere near as great as her daughter's, she has been on TV with her daughter, and that's a level of celebrity that this person doesn't have. And, unfortunately, some people get fixated on elderly women. It's not common, but it does happen.
Could one person have done that by themselves, though? Gotten her away?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's easy either way,
Ooh. One person, absolutely. One person, absolutely. Thoughts? He said he was there to take Nancy, not take her things. Nobody shows up to a house with a backpack full to rob a house. That doesn't happen unless, again, you're not very smart. Well, I don't know, man. You have to kind of wonder who shows up to rob a house with a full backpack. You said there would have been drugs on immediately phones. That is a lot. It's a lot to think about. Tracy, thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to you, Tracy. Appreciate it. Thank you. SA is a possible thing. Anything is possible. I mean, they haven't said that didn't happen, right? Keep that in mind. At this point, there might have been so many different points of view and back and forth statements. I feel so overwhelmed. I don't disagree with you. It is very overwhelming to keep up.
If she's alive, you threaten her with that gun. If she's not alive, I mean, that guy didn't look small. She's pretty small. It'd be fairly easy for him to take her out.
Do you think she was alive when she left the house? I mean, just based on what you know?
I don't have any reason to believe she was dead.
That's true.
I mean, the fact that blood is dripping as she's leaving probably is a good sign that she's alive or was alive at that time. If she was dead, he could wrap her up in something that wouldn't be dripping.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way. That would make sense. Why would you? Right, you would have had her wrapped up when you took her out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you the ransom notes in the beginning that have kind of just fizzled away? Do you think those are real?
Well, I mean, the only reason why I believed they were real is because it's been reported by the police that there was a very specific item, I think a watch, that was described, and the location of that watch was described accurately, and that was the proof that they gave that they were legit. If that's the case, I don't know how that happens other than somebody inside telling them that, because that was not something that was released to the public. So I think that has a level of legitimacy. The fact that they sort of fizzled away, I don't know what advice was given to the Guthrie family. I don't know whether they paid anything or whether they didn't pay anything, but there is certainly a policy in the FBI and in law enforcement in general not to pay ransoms.
Do you think they should have offered the reward sooner? I mean, because reportedly Savannah wanted to and was told, let's hold off on the $1 million reward initially. Would that have made a difference, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, the $1 million reward, if you put that out immediately, I'm sure the reason why they told her to hold off is because they didn't want 50,000 false tips of people just trying to get that $1 million. It's a lot of money. It's very unusual to have a reward that high, and it brings people out of the woodwork.
Are you surprised we're at day 30?
I am. It certainly doesn't bode well for Nancy. And I don't know what the forensic examination that was done initially at the house was, but pretty certain that this guy's DNA is all over that house. And what I'm waiting for is for them to have developed a DNA profile, done a forensic genetic genealogy search.
He says that I'm pretty sure the DNA is all over the house, right? Pretty sure that the DNA is all. So are we just then waiting for the profile of the person? What are we waiting for if that's the case? You said, damn, Jim Clemente sounds rough. I mean, you know, I'm struggling. This could be something else. Their motivation could be something. Not that's what I'm thinking. It could be something else other than money, you know? Maybe, like I said, I go back to maybe somebody that she dated or something, or maybe it wasn't even Savannah, maybe it was somebody else. DNA takes time. Yeah, I don't know. You said he made it sound like breathing in a house puts your DNA everywhere. I don't know. How could the DNA be all over if he was all covered up? Yeah, Joey, what do you think about that? DNA? So we just have to wait, I guess, right?
And gotten to this guy's family, and they're hopefully following him to get a cigarette, a Coke can, pizza crust that he discards so they can get his DNA and confirm who it is. That's the best hope in this case.
And that can take time, right?
Yeah.
So even though it's 30, because some people I've heard some law enforcement experts say that they think it's becoming a cold case. Is it too soon to say that?
I mean, a cold case is when all leads have been run to ground and there's no new leads. I don't think that's the case yet. I mean, it's 30 days, not 30 years. Cases are being solved after 30 and 40 years. So this case will be solved. I have no question in my mind about it because of that video and because of the fact that he wasn't forensically sophisticated enough to prevent any of his DNA from leaving his body and being at that scene. I just hope they collected it.
The way you described him is, and let's just say it was someone who did it alone, because if it was a stalker type, maybe it was someone alone. Do they start to tell people about it at some point? Or do people like that keep it to themselves forever?
No, I think this guy is not a professional. And so I believe at some point was probably prior. His pre-offense behavior was probably him. He probably leaked out information about this. In other words, mentioned Savannah, mentioned Nancy, mentioned that, he was going to go to Tucson, something. He was not as sophisticated as he thought he was. And those kind of offenders slip up. And I'm sure he did, either before the offense or after the offense. If he doesn't get caught in a while, then you might see exactly what you just said, him kind of bragging about it in a way, like maybe generically. Yeah.
Like at a bar or something like that. Infamous, thank you so much for renewing your membership. Shout out to you, Infamous. Thank you. How do they know the masked guy has been at the house at all? I mean, because he was trying to get through the front door, or did he get through the front door? But then he's also saying that DNA could be all over the house. I'm thinking, I mean, how else did Nancy get out of the house? I don't know. I don't know. Wait, didn't he say in the beginning that they were professionals? Yeah. Sooner or later, we'll catch him. Not what you do when you commit a crime. Exactly. You said, wait, let me see. Don't stalkers usually keep their victims or whatever they actually get from them, and they don't just unalive them right away? What is the profile? Right? What is the profile? We don't know. Like, I thought we were going to get a profile of this individual. And I feel like we're more so looking at actions of what he believes this individual could and can't do, or what he thinks. Not so much of like profile as it, like, that's how I see a profile. Somebody who, grew up here, and based on how he handled this is what it looks like. And, very likely that we're looking at somebody, we're looking at a lot of what seems to be maybe people from Latino descent or something like that, right? What fits the mold here? But I feel like we're more so digesting what capabilities a person like this has to do something like this. It's a weird profile, but I get it, I guess.
You know, I could have gotten away with that too, you know, something like that. But I'm telling you, somebody who's listening to this right now, somebody knows him. They live or work with him or live near him or have interacted with him, and he has just changed his behavior in the last 5-6 weeks, and especially when those images were released. And whether he left town for an emergency or, you know, made sure that he would not be out in public for a while, he did something.
So you said, shout out to Joey. He's like, he's not profiling. That's his tie, but he's just answering Brian and Dinka questions. I got you. Wim just gifted again. Y'all put some hearts in the chat for Wim. Thank you, Wimmy. Hold up. Let me see. Can I get the hearts going? There it is. Thank you, Wim. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. Somewhere, someone somewhere works or lives with this guy. Got it. Storp's like, check mark.
He did something to change his behavior, and anybody who knows him, who's around him, should pick up on that.
So we don't know officially that nothing was taken from the house, but that's kind of the sense that you know, there wasn't like some high value item missing. So I guess operating under that being true, so not really being a burglary. And then,
well, it could be a framed picture of her in Savannah. You know, it could be some little, you know, something from a magnet on the refrigerator. It could be, you know, some little souvenir or trophy that he took. It doesn't have to be something of great value.
Is there any other motive that has come to your mind besides, you know, Savannah obsessed person?
Well, I mean, money, revenge, personal cause, or sexual. Those are the motives that could be.
Do any of those others? I mean, they don't seem to add up as much to me. I mean, I hate to even think about the sexual, but, you know, it's just the way the neighborhood is. It's just this random house in the middle of this neighborhood where everybody's spaced. Like, why her if that was the case, you know?
Generally because that person worked at the house or delivered something to the house or delivered her to the house and knew that she lived alone. That's generally what happened, what precedes that kind of an attack. However, unless that was absolutely known,
that's what would have made her a target, right? Like, even me again is like, I don't know. I understand why this woman was at home on her own in what is virtually a desert. Now, she was used to this. I think that's the other side to this too, is like they grew up in this area. It looks like a very nice area. I'm not saying that, like, it looks very nice, right? Like, she had lived in that home since what, like the 70s? Is that correct? So I don't know. For me, it's a huge house for one person. You know, I do feel like that is accurate. Like, I feel like maybe one person shouldn't have lived there by themselves, but yeah, I'm kind of there too. You know, people need help in their property, so I don't know what that looked like as far as continuing to provide support for her. And then maybe because they know that somebody wasn't available, that made her a target, right? So they were just waiting for the perfect time. But see, if you think about it, if Nancy Guthrie was by herself, there might have been a lot of perfect times to have attacked her. Why did they decide that day? Right? And how many times we know that the footage is of different days. How many times did the person actually go there? And how do we know they didn't go there in Christmas or in other times of the year? My thing is like, you know, it would have been nice for Nancy to at least have had a dog or something. I don't know.
there's no reason for him to take her from that location.
Do you think at this point, just based on what you know, they have several people in mind, or do you think they don't? Because I'll just tell you, I mean, we had reporting a couple weeks ago about them going to the gun stores with 40 names and faces, and initially I thought they did, but now I'm wondering if they don't.
It's just whether or not I think it's a good idea to answer that question. That's all.
Yeah, I understand. Did anything stand out to you as strange with the ransom letters?
Absolutely. In general, when someone kidnaps someone and their motivation is to get money, one of the first lines is don't tell the police and no media. DC snipers, for example, they had both of those, right?
Don't tell the police and don't tell media. But see, the letters went to media, right? Here's the question that I have, and this is not answered. So I do want to know about them. Maybe it has been. I don't know. I'm thinking it's not. The letters that went to media, I'm not talking about the other ones that Sheriff Harvey had. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the very first one before they went to TMZ. Did that letter actually go to Savannah and family, or did it initially go to media? We don't even know that. If you go back to the statements, the very first one, the very first video that Savannah made, she literally is talking about it's very scripted and very like robotic, kind of like we hear you, we understand. Okay. And that was a couple days after. Is it possible, like, did the family actually receive a ransom, or did it just go to the local station first before TMZ? Did the family actually receive a letter? That's what I always thought all of the things that I have learned from like hostage situations or negotiations and stuff like that from textbook. Okay. Now, mind you, I graduated with my undergraduate in 2010 in criminology. So clearly I'm a little outdated in terms of what people are doing now, right? Because it is 2026. But textbook people say that you're not supposed to publicly speak about the ransom. So when I saw that and I said, are we doing this now? Like, this is like a no, you don't. So that just took me out. I couldn't believe it.
This case, instead of hiding what they were doing, they announced it to the world by sending it to the media. That's extremely unusual, but it may be telling us exactly what they wanted, which was notoriety, which was making everybody in that neighborhood shiver with fear.
Well, to be fair, the family didn't announce it first. TMZ did, right? So then if the family, they had no other, if I'm Savannah, I'm thinking, well, shit, Sheriff Harvey took initiative not took initiative, but took it upon himself to go and announce this to everybody and publicize the situation. Well, guess what? I'm going to have to, follow up and make a statement that I'm aware, even though we're not receiving any news. So yeah, that would have been the follow-up, right? But it was TMZ who first put it out there. The day after the local news media had received it.
Or making Savannah emotionally, begging for her mother's life. That could be the motivation. Behavior tells you many times not just what somebody wants to do, but sort of it satisfies some kind of inner need for them. And I think sending it to the media and sending it not to the media where Savannah works, but to a local CBS affiliate and to TMZ, it made sure that the news got out there. The local CBS affiliate tells me that that person may very well be from that area because they wanted that media outlet to be aware and to publicize it. So publicity is usually the last thing a kidnapper wants. And it's the first thing these people wanted or this person wanted.
I really appreciate Jim for taking the time to talk with me. It's sort of a lot to think about there in terms of the
publicity is the last. Is that what he said? It's the last thing they want. Hold up.
They wanted that media outlet to be aware and to publicize it. So publicity is usually the last thing a kidnapper wants. And it's the first thing these people wanted or this person wanted.
There you go. I can agree to that. I may not agree with, I understand like where he's coming from with all the other profiling stuff, but I can agree to that. I feel like publicity, yeah, no. We're in the age of crypto scamming. Yeah, we're in the age of like, you don't even need real money for like paper money for it to be real. Pretend money. Internet money. I don't know. Something. How do we know those letters were all from the same person? It's a great question. We haven't even been able to determine that. Honestly, it hasn't really been established, right? At all. You said, I don't know a thing about crypto. I know we were talking about that. I said, I feel like I'm so behind the crypto stuff. Literally, I don't think that I don't have anything. Oh snap, look at this. Let me show you guys something that just appeared on my Twitter. This is SF. This is a screenshot from at Brian Enton podcast. I wonder if these people are Savannah's private investigator. Like I mentioned, I thought might be the reason the FBI formally turned the house over to the family. Yeah, this looks like that private investigator guy. He was driving a truck, if I remember correctly. Now hold up. Let me go to his shorts real quick. Did he post anything? He posted that video. Now this is day 31. Let me go back here.
Hey guys, so I'm outside Nancy Guthrie's house. There's been some action today. First of all, there were some people that
There's
showed up.
this
It seemed like
guy.
they were maybe doing some work on the house, locksmiths. They were by the front door of the house. They were then at the back of the house. There's also these private searchers that have shown up with metal detectors going up and down the street outside Nancy's house. They said they were maybe looking for jewelry or a bracelet. So kind of interesting. They're still out here right now. The sheriff gave NBC News an interview. We've been asking for an interview, but he hasn't responded. But he did give NBC News an interview, said that he does not think it's a cold case, that he thinks they'll solve it. A lot of stuff he said previously. He said they're looking at hundreds of thousands of cars, which is kind of interesting when he was asked specifically about that new video from 2.5 miles away that came out last week. He said we're looking at that plus hundreds of thousands of other cars, which is a really big number. And with the backpack, remember the backpack that they said was bought at Walmart? He's now saying that they're considering that the suspect may have gotten it secondhand. So maybe he didn't actually buy it at Walmart, but bought it secondhand after someone else already bought it at Walmart. So that was kind of the update from his interview. I'll keep you guys posted with anything else that happens today. Hey guys, so I'm outside Nancy Guthrie's house. There's been some.
Now hold up. Okay, now this is from the interview. This was it's Brianna. I keep calling her Brittany. Brianna Whitney. Oh, it's because her last name is Whitney and it just kind of reminds me of Brittany. It rhymes. Anyways, so here's the behind the scenes raw footage of moments before we began our interviews with Luke Daly. Many have asked to see when he walked in and sat down. That's right, because everybody was trying to see how he walks. His attorney came in with him. Then we mic'd him up and set cameras. Luke was detained and released in the Nancy Guthrie case. Wait, y'all wanted to see how he walks? Hold up. Let me make sure I go back. See, I told you, I was like, this guy looks very, what was the word? I didn't want to say it. He looks like somebody said in the chat, I didn't say it, but he looks like he has no neck. Okay, hold up.
Hey, Luke. How you doing? Thank you so much. I get up, I'm just all mic'd in. So we're going to get you all mic'd up right there.
Hold on, before you sit down.
Does he want
Just want to make it easy for you.
We're gonna wait. He wants to be in here, right?
And have it pop out your collar for me, man. No, you better. Makes it easier for me.
The best is ideal for the mic.
I'm just going to clip this on right here for you. Here you go. And you can butt it back up and have a seat.
Perfect. Chris, sorry, I know it's not ideal in the corner for you, but sorry, I know that we don't have an extra chair.
No.
You are all good.
Look up real quickly.
You saw a neck?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, he seems bigger than the porch guy.
Look at me, just you and chat. It's just a second.
For sure.
Everything all buttoned up here.
She must have ran out.
Here we go. Just
I'll take her phone. Oh, no, I want your kid. He's just showing me like when he pulled his name online.
Sure, yeah, I'll say 100%. Yep.
Okay, you good? Club? All right. Is it clap track? Excuse me.
Cool. Okay. Good.
Yep.
Good. Okay. Luke, you're just gonna look at me. Easy question first. I'm gonna have you say and spell your first and last name for me, just for the record.
Okay, that was some of that. Now I'm going to go over here real quick. Let's see. Okay, we are at 2.5. Forensic expert shares elder abuse theory about Nancy Guthrie disappearance. Okay.
With you, what do we know about those men that showed up at Nancy's house today? Well, we don't know much. I don't believe they were law enforcement based on what we saw, but they went around the side of the house. There were 3 of them. What was most interesting is they seemed especially interested in the front door, which is, of course, where we saw the blood drops. And then they opened the door. They went in. There was some speculation that they could be locksmiths, although I'm not sure that really makes any sense. But they were here for about an hour, and then they were gone, Jesse.
Brian, I want your take on what the sheriff had to say about getting definitely closer to a break. But let me just get to Joseph real quick. Joseph, I understand you might have 2 theories about what may have happened to Nancy that we might not be thinking of.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, first off, I think that, going with what Brian is saying about the blood deposition there in the front at the door, I think that is significant because this is an act of violence. And, we have confirmed, or they have confirmed at least, that is Mrs. Guthrie's blood that was deposited there. I have my own thoughts about the nature of the deposition and what it kind of stems from. And that was a sudden taking, if you will. The one shot there where you have that kind of expirated blood that is in that large patch. You've got the larger elements of blood there. That expirated blood, which I think are the tiny little dots right there, that's evidence of somebody probably coughing or sneezing out blood deposition from right there. And this blood is not indicative of, say, having a cut on your hand and it just kind of free falling.
And then you have this other idea about her age and her being a vulnerable victim?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys realize how many cases I've worked over the course of my career in Atlanta and New Orleans that involved ransom? 0. The cases I have worked, elder abuse. I've had people that have taken advantage of the elderly because they knew that they had money and they bum rush them into their house and they snatch them out of there, or they do terrible things like murder inside of the house. She is a much more valuable target to them if they have foreknowledge of whose mother she was. Right. That doesn't take a deep dive here. And so if they think that they can get anything out of her, so I think that comes to local knowledge. Who knows this? Is this somebody's, grandson? That might be in the neighborhood that has some knowledge that's been talking about this for a protracted period of time.
Right.
I wonder if it's
someone's grandson. Yeah. Okay. Someone's grandson.
Gang related. I wonder what they're pressing relative to the gang associations in Pima County, because this smacks of this relative to targeting her, seeking her out.
And let me, Brian, I'll give you a chance to respond to that since you've been on the ground and know this case better than anybody else. But also,
the other guy didn't even say gang. Okay. So this expert is saying it reeks of that. Okay.
I wanted your response to where the sheriff says they're definitely closer to finding a suspect. But I mentioned before all the seemingly gaps in this investigation, or at least what they know.
Yeah, and he's been saying that for a while. There were a few other things he said today that really stood out to me. One, he was asked about that new surveillance video of the car from 2.5 miles away. He said that it is part of the investigation, but he said that they are looking at hundreds of thousands of cars, which my jaw kind of dropped, like hundreds of thousands. How could that possibly be? I don't know if it's from traffic cameras, but that wasn't really encouraging to hear him say that. The other interesting thing was in terms of the backpack that the suspect was wearing that they've been saying was bought at Walmart all along, and we know they were going through the Walmart sales records. Today, he said that they believe the suspect may have gotten it secondhand. So he didn't necessarily buy the backpack himself from Walmart, which is something we haven't heard the sheriff say before.
Brian, real quick, about 40 seconds to Joseph's theory. If someone bum rushed her, jumped in, maybe was trying to get something from the house. Do you know if anything was stolen from her house?
Not that we know of, no. And I heard what Joseph was saying about the blood. One thing I've thought about is I think it may be an indication that she was alive when she left the house, because if she was already dead, you would think, I hate to talk like this, but you'd think they would have wrapped her up. Or why would there be those blood spots coming if she was already dead? So I think it's a sign that she was alive when she left.
Gentlemen, I wish we had more time to talk about this because there's going to be a number of theories we go through. But Brian and Joseph Scott Morgan, thank you both so much as always.
Thanks.
So, okay. Yes, I got it right before he spoke. Goodbye, Cuomo. Oh my God. Like, it's too much. Thousands of theories, thousands of things, hundreds and thousands of cars out there. At the time, sheriff was over exaggerated too. So many theories, so many things. I don't know. Like, somebody take notes. I don't know what to say. Well, guys, I'm going to let you guys go because I have to go tend to Baby Bunny. I got to go pick her up. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. You don't have to be, but you are. Wim, I don't know if you gifted again, but if you, well, first of all, you gifted. Thank you so much. And Nebulous as well. Everybody that gifted. Thank you. And Minds y'all as well. Thank you. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for supporting the channel. I have I got to go pick up baby bunny, so I got to go. But y'all are amazing. Thank you again for supporting the channel. I will see you guys on the next one. Hit the like button. All right. Bye, guys. Stay safe. I might be live tonight. Okay. Heads up. Bye, guys.